What's my take on Vietnam? Well, watch this video and you'll find out.
Do you love your boyfriend?
Vietnam is really special. The people are friendly and the country is growing very, very fast. I have 3 issues with Vietnam. I was there for only a short time, but I got a fairly good flavor of what it's like. And there are 3 things: the motorcycles, the attitude of the women, and the language barrier. Now, on the motorcycles, if you don't already know, it's super dangerous. I don't care if they would pay for a motorcycle and give it to me, I would never use one. It is so dangerous. Just had a friend in Europe last month, got knocked over by a car. He's still in a coma. We don't even know if he's gonna make it. But that's not the first story. I know other personal stories on how dangerous it is to use a motorcycle or even be a passenger on a motorcycle. And the second point is on the ladies and the attitude they have. They are not easily seduced or persuaded or convinced that big age differences are okay. I was told directly to my face, not even, sort of like politely or like in a no thank you kind of manner. Ladies would say to me directly, "Hey, you're too old for me," or I would approach another girl and her friend would tell me, "Hey, stay away from my friend. She's not interested in dating older guys unless you have a lot of money." It's like, wow, that's pretty blunt, pretty direct. But it wasn't just, because I'm a offensive old guy that's not doing nice things. I can go to the Philippines and be very smooth and polite, and age is never an issue with ladies below 30. It's like, I can't remember, well, I can remember, but it's very rare that I am asked what is my age. In fact, my older good friend Murray, he was 85 and living in the Philippines for 30 or 40 years. He was dating ladies in their 20s and even had a live-in girlfriend for a long time that was 21. And you can say, yeah, that girl is just looking for money. And I say, oh, okay, so what's wrong with that? People like security, especially ladies. And if you're looking for true love, I don't think that's the point. The point is that 2 people are getting along, they are having a good time, they're getting something out of their life by being together, living together. I think that's all that matters. And I dated quite a few ladies while I was in Vietnam for a short time. But the average consensus, at least on my part, is that the women walking around in the shopping malls were not particularly head turners or stunners or somebody you would ask out for a date. I would walk around in the malls every single day for hours, and I would see lots of people, but I would never ever, or very rarely ever, see a lady that I would possibly like to invite out for a date. Contrast that with the Philippines. I go out to the shopping mall and I see at least 10 ladies every single day that I would like to invite out for a date and get to know better. Doesn't mean they're gonna go home with me or anything, strange, but there are so many options in the Philippines that I didn't see in Vietnam, coupled with the fact that these ladies have a bit of an attitude. They're more demanding, and I don't blame them. I mean, ladies in the U.S. are very demanding and very picky who they date, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's easier in other countries outside of Vietnam. Not in the U.S., not in Vietnam, and not in Hong Kong, and not in Singapore. But Philippines, Thailand, some of these other places, it's a lot easier to ask a girl out for a date. I also find that the easiness or the amount of work that you have to put in to invite a girl out for a date is inversely proportional to the income level of the country. In other words, in countries where the general income is low, it's easier to ask a lady out for a date if you're from another Western country. I find that to be generally true. You can just look it up on Google, and the numbers align very, very tightly with Thailand, Indonesia, Cambodia, Philippines, and some of the other higher income countries like Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan. It's not as easy to ask a girl out for a date. And the third the third issue is the language barrier. There is a language barrier in Vietnam. I can't even ask a taxi driver to take me to a certain address in English. He would not understand. So you need a handwritten note in Vietnamese or some sort of translator on your phone. So that's my summary on Vietnam.